Elaborate as adjective. Detailed and complex in design, composition, or structure. Intricate and complex in nature. The artist's elaborate painting was filled with intricate details. The host prepared an elaborate meal for her guests, complete with multiple courses and fancy dishes. The fashion designer's elaborate gown featured intricate beading and embroidery. The author's elaborate plot twist surprised readers at the end of the book. The movie's elaborate special effects brought the fictional world to life. Humdrum as adjective. Dull, monotonous, and uninteresting, lacking in variety or excitement. Tedious and uneventful, lacking in excitement or adventure. His job was so humdrum that he felt like he was just going through the motions every day. The routine was so humdrum that they decided to shake things up and try something new. The humdrum task of data entry became much more enjoyable with music playing in the background. The office atmosphere was so humdrum that employees were looking for ways to make it more lively. The repetitive nature of the job made it feel very humdrum and unfulfilling. Extenuating as adjective. Lessening the seriousness or magnitude of something, often used to describe a circumstance or factor. Mitigating or reducing the impact of something, especially in a legal or moral context. The judge took into account the defendant's extenuating circumstances when handing down the sentence. The airline offered refunds to passengers affected by the extenuating circumstances of the pandemic. She was able to explain her poor performance on the exam with extenuating circumstances, such as family problems. The company made an exception for the employee's extenuating circumstances and allowed her to work from home. His extenuating medical condition meant he couldn't meet the physical requirements of the job. Equivocal as adjective. Ambiguous in nature or meaning. Open to two or more interpretations. Ambiguous. The results of the experiment were equivocal, with some evidence supporting the hypothesis and some not. Her motives for helping him were equivocal, and he couldn't tell if she was being sincere or not. The politician's speech was intentionally equivocal, so that he wouldn't commit to anything. The painting's meaning was equivocal, with multiple interpretations possible. His response to the question was equivocal and didn't really answer it. Inveterate as adjective. Deep-rooted and long-established, especially in reference to a habit, attitude, or behavior. Persistent and difficult to change, especially in reference to a habit, belief, or opinion. He was an inveterate smoker, having smoked a pack a day for over 30 years. The town had an inveterate problem with graffiti, and it seemed like every wall was covered in spray paint. She was an inveterate gossip, always spreading rumors and secrets to anyone who would listen. Despite her best efforts to change, she remained an inveterate procrastinator, always leaving things to the last minute. He was an inveterate traveler, having visited over 50 countries in his lifetime. Illicit as adjective. Forbidden by law, rules, or regulations. Not allowed or authorized. The teenager was arrested for possessing illicit substances. The police conducted a raid on the illicit drug operation in the abandoned warehouse. The businessman was caught engaging in illicit financial activities that violated regulations. The journalist uncovered evidence of an illicit affair between a politician and a lobbyist. The company was fined heavily for using illicit means to gain a competitive advantage in the market. Quotidian as adjective. Occurring or happening every day or on a daily basis. Routine, ordinary, or mundane. The mundane, quotidian tasks of daily life can become overwhelming. The office job was filled with the same old quotidian tasks day after day. The author's writing often focused on the ordinary, quotidian experiences of everyday people. The city's skyline was a backdrop to the quotidian bustle of its inhabitants. The film depicted the quotidian struggles of a family living in poverty.
Arrant as adjective: utter, complete, unmitigated, without qualification or exception, absolute, unmitigated. An arrant knave he was, with no regard for the truth. She showed herself to be an arrant coward, fleeing at the first sign of danger. He was an arrant thief, stealing from anyone who crossed his path. The arrant fool thought he could take on the entire army by himself. The villain was an arrant rogue, with no conscience or remorse for his crimes.
Complementary as adjective: enhancing or improving something else, serving to complete or make perfect something. The two businesses had complementary products, so they decided to collaborate. The different colors in the painting were complementary to each other, making it visually appealing. The therapist recommended complementary treatments to supplement the medication for a more effective treatment. The restaurant served a complementary side dish with each main course. The siblings had complementary personalities, which helped them work together effectively on their family business.
Winsome as adjective: likable, charming, and attractive, pleasing in appearance, especially in a charming or innocent way. Her winsome smile and kind demeanor made her a popular figure in the community. The movie's winsome protagonist charmed audiences with her wit and grace. The singer's winsome voice captured the hearts of listeners around the world. The artwork features winsome scenes of nature and wildlife. The book's winsome illustrations perfectly complement the heartwarming story.
Impervious as adjective: not able to be penetrated, affected, or damaged by a particular substance or influence, not allowing fluid to pass through. The soldier's training made him impervious to pain, allowing him to continue fighting. The vaccine provided an impervious shield against the virus, protecting people from infection. The raincoat was made of an impervious material that kept the wearer dry in heavy rain. The castle's walls were impervious to the enemy's attacks, making it a formidable stronghold. The scientist's research was impervious to criticism, as it was based on solid evidence. Overweening as adjective: arrogant or conceited, excessive in behavior or self-esteem. His overweening pride was his downfall. The company's overweening ambition led to its downfall. The politician's overweening arrogance cost him the election. The artist's overweening ego made it difficult to work with him. The athlete's overweening confidence made her a formidable opponent. Unimpeachable as adjective: beyond reproach or criticism, not subject to challenge or doubt, completely honest and trustworthy. The judge's reputation for fairness and impartiality was unimpeachable. The accountant's unimpeachable record of accuracy and honesty was highly valued. The evidence presented at trial was unimpeachable and convinced the jury of the defendant's guilt. The expert witness's unimpeachable credentials were crucial in the case. The integrity of the election process was ensured by unimpeachable procedures. Concomitant as adjective: accompanying something as a consequence or an associated feature, existing or occurring at the same time as something else. Anxiety is often a concomitant symptom of depression. The use of technology in the classroom has led to a concomitant decline in students' penmanship. The drug has several potential side effects, including concomitant drowsiness and dizziness. The company's expansion into new markets has had a concomitant increase in overhead costs. The environmental benefits of renewable energy sources have a concomitant reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. Palatable as adjective. Agreeable to the taste or refined taste. Appetizing or appealing in taste. The chef made adjustments to the recipe to make it more palatable. The soup was not palatable because it was too salty. The smoothie was palatable because it had a good balance of sweet and sour. The coffee was not palatable because it was too bitter. The dish was surprisingly palatable even though it contained unconventional ingredients.
Primacy as adjective. Supremacy or dominance in rank or importance, the state of being first in order of time or degree of priority. In his research, he focused on the primacy of language in human development. The company's main goal is the primacy of customer satisfaction. The principle of primacy of experience is central to the field of psychology. The primacy of the judiciary is a key component of the U.S. Constitution. The primacy of scientific evidence is critical in making policy decisions.
Oblique as adjective. Devious, indirect, or evasive in speech or behavior. Having a slanting or sloping direction or position, not straight or perpendicular. The teacher gave an oblique answer to the student's question. The artist used oblique lines in the painting to create a sense of movement. The politician made an oblique reference to the scandal without directly addressing it. The writer's oblique writing style made the story more interesting and thought-provoking. The photographer used oblique lighting to create a dramatic effect. Impartial as adjective. Fair and just to all sides, not favoring one over another. Not biased or influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. The judge was impartial in the case and made a fair decision based on the evidence presented. The journalist aimed to provide impartial coverage of the political campaign without bias. The teacher was impartial in grading the students' work, evaluating them solely based on their merits. The mediator was impartial in helping the parties reach a resolution to the dispute. The referee was expected to be impartial in officiating the game and not favor one team over the other. Ingenuous as adjective. Naive or unsophisticated. Open, honest, and sincere in nature or behavior. The child's ingenuous smile and innocent demeanor won over the hearts of everyone in the room. He had an ingenuous face that made it difficult for people to tell when he was lying. The actress's ingenuous portrayal of the character was praised by critics and audiences alike. The salesman's ingenuous approach to selling the product was refreshing and effective. Her ingenuous remarks showed that she was not afraid to speak her mind, even in difficult situations. Placid as adjective. Calm and peaceful, with little movement or activity, undisturbed. Calm, peaceful, and serene, especially in demeanor or manner. The placid lake reflected the mountains in the distance. The placid horse was easy to ride and calm around people. The placid atmosphere of the park was perfect for relaxation. The elderly man's placid demeanor belied the hardship he had faced in life. The placid beach was a popular spot for tourists looking for a peaceful vacation. Ready to boost your English? Meet our vocabulary app, the fun and effective way to master the language. Books learn advanced words with examples and audio. Direct hit master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Video game enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Glow showing Europe, Africa translate into 100 plus languages, all in one app. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.